Hi everyone. I think because of time, we're going to start, and then more people will join in as we continue. So for today, uh, the session is being led by Sharon Omoja, who's part of the OSM Kenya team and also works at Nature Serve Systems. Yeah, so she'll be taking us through data quality, accuracy, and data validation. Yeah, so without anything else to say, I think we can go ahead and start. Yeah, Sharon, so you can go on. If you need to share your screen, you can do so as well. Can you hear me, guys? Sharon, did you able to hear or okay? Yeah, I've seen your message. Just a minute.
Hello everyone. Just a moment, let me try to share my screen. Just a moment. Just a moment, let me fix something on my screen. Are you able to see my screen? I'm sorry for that.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, so we're going to start. Yeah, so as my colleague Laura said, I'm Sharon Omoja. I'm from OSM Kenya, and today I'll be taking you through quality assurance tools for OSM. Yeah, and it's going to be like an interactive session, and feel free to practice in your computer or laptop, if it's close to you. Yeah. So quality assurance in OpenStreetMap. Yeah, so basically quality assurance is the process by which OpenStreetMap contributors check the data that has been contributed to ensure that the information that is being uploaded to OSM meets the high standard for usage and prevents vandalism. Yeah, because we all know that OpenStreetMap data is crowdsourced data, and we have, as much as we have advantages of crowdsourced data, there one of the major disadvantages of crowdsourced data is that there is no confidentiality. That your data, I can edit the data that you upload to OSM. I can go back and edit it. Somebody else can change maybe tags and all that. And sometimes, okay, we can't ascertain that maybe a person that is adding data into OpenStreetMap, the data that is being added will be of good quality, because we have new beginners who sometimes do not know like what to map and how to map, and we up to advanced level. So the data that is being added, some may be of like poor quality, and that's where quality assurance comes in. So we all know OpenStreetMap is a free platform. Anyone can use and edit it, as I have said, and that's why it's critical to the sustainability of open data and OSM that everyone participates in the quality assurance and quality control process. We all know that OSM data, there are so many uses of OSM data. We have the data that are used as for humanitarian actions. We have data used as development projects. But if the data is of poor quality, we are not going to achieve what we want. If the data is of poor quality and we cannot know like what's where and what's not where. Yeah. So the quality assurance tools, we have so many quality assurance tools. We have Map Campaigner. Map Campaigner is basically checks for attribute completeness. We have Osmose, it checks for tagging and geometry issues. We have OSM Change Set Analyzer, mostly known as OSM CHA. It checks for contributions and upload issues by an individual user. We have JOSM Validation, which checks for tagging and geometry issues. We have KeepRight. KeepRight, same as Map Campaigner, it also checks for attribute completeness. And we have OSM Inspector. OSM Inspector checks for themed views, each with several layers, showing specific details of the OSM data. And that is not all. We have so many quality assurance tools for OSM, and these are the major ones that you're going to cover, because these are the major ones that you'll be using in your day-to-day activities in OSM. Other examples of quality assurance tools for OSM, we have MapRelay, we have Unmapped Places as a tool, we have OSM Suspects is also a tool, but that is only for in Germany. We also have is OSM Up to Date, that is also a tool which looks for old and potentially outdated nodes or highways. Yeah, but today we're just going to focus on the 6 that we have highlighted. Yeah, so the first one that we are going to, okay, if I'm too fast, please feel free to stop me or just notify me. Yeah, so the first one that you're going to talk about is Osmose. Yeah, so Osmose monitors multiple quality control issues in OSM. Like, for example, feature geometry. It checks for, are there overlapping buildings or nodes? Are there incomplete features, like maybe a road is not connecting to the other road, and are there duplications? It also checks for like common tagging issues, Like, is there a building that has not been tagged? Unsuitable or poorly formatted tags. Maybe like there is a typo in the tags. It also checks for that. Yeah, so the steps to correct issues identified by Osmose is, first you should have, okay, if you're going to do the edits in JOSAM, you should have JOSAM opened in your computer. So basically what you're going to work on, I'll be showing the examples in JOSAM. So I have JOSAM already opened in my computer. I was just doing something. Yeah, I have JOSAM already opened in my computer. Yeah, so so the next step, we navigate to, this is the site for Osmose. We navigate to the site, and you can see how it looks like the interface. Are you all able to see Osmose's interface? Hello, are we on the same page?
The interface is not visible.
Oh, okay. Let me see. Sorry for that. Just a moment. Osmose interface. Are you able to see Osmose interface now?
From my end, I'm not. Maybe either someone else to confirm.
Okay. Laura, are you able to see Osmose interface?
I think you have to leave present mode and then go back to the browser.
Okay. Yeah, so
Because it's still seeing your slides.
okay. I don't know. Let me see what's happening.
Another option, maybe you share the full screen so that you can just be switching between the tabs.
Yeah, I'm trying that and I don't know why it's not working. I'm on entire screen. Yeah, so I don't know. Are you able to now see it?
Not yet.
I think you actually have to leave to not be on full screen, and then that's when you should be able to switch.
Okay. it now visible? I've shared my browser.
I think the issue is you shared a tab. So if you share the tab, we can still see the tab that you shared. So maybe stop sharing, and then when you try sharing your screen again, share the entire browser as opposed to sharing a tab. So come back to the call, or stop sharing from huko juu on Mozilla, on Firefox, and then share again, but then share the entire screen as opposed to one tab.
But that's what I'm doing.
Because you can still see the tab.
Okay,
Like
which tab are you seeing? Oh, the slides.
Yes.
Oh, okay, let me see. I think I stopped sharing. Sorry.
Yeah. So I think you have to entirely stop sharing, then start sharing, but then share your tab browser.
View full screen. Grids. Oh, fuck. Are you able to see it now?
Not yet.
Hey. Okay, let me see. I don't know what's happening. Share your screen.
Let me- Can you try sharing now? Because I've removed the other screen and then. Yes, we can now see your screen.
Is it visible?
Yeah, we can. Okay, we can see your screen, but we can't see the osmosis site.
Which one are you seeing? Or you have...
We can see that you're the Jitsi platform, and then you can see two other tabs. Yeah.
Yeah, there's the email tab and there is the Osmose tab.
No, I don't think it's the Osmosis tab. Maybe those
Oh,
are
okay.
in another window.
Let me see your connection information. Let me see permissions. I don't know. Okay, copy. Let me open in another browser. Are you able to see it?
Not yet.
Hi, what's
Are you
happening?
able to drag those tabs to this tab, to this window?
Is it visible now? Hello, is the screen visible?
No, not yet.
Osmosis.
We can still see your Jitsi screen.
Why? Why? But from my end, stop
Are
sharing.
you sure? Okay, because I can see it's sharing your entire screen.
Yeah, I'm sharing the entire screen.
On this window, you have the like. Do you have the presentation slides and the Osmosis platform? Are they on another window? But they should still show.
Why is it not working? Ooh, osmosis. Copy. Just a moment.
Because you can see Apocini, you have like it's like you have several Firefox windows that are open. So maybe
Yeah,
if you click on the Firefox menu and then open the one that has the site.
I'm really sorry for this. And osmosis map Mozilla allow visible or not yet visible.
Not yet.
Okay, Laura, can you? Oh, okay, just a moment. Because when I click share entire screen, the window that is opened is the Osmosis window. Let me close this one.
Yeah,
Okay.
maybe you can, or you can just have one window that has.
Yeah. Let me close other windows as well. Yes. So, okay. Osmosis map. Is that visible? I've closed all the windows except for the Jitsi and the Osmosis.
Can you stop sharing and then restart sharing again? Because
Oh, okay.
you're between there.
Okay. Stop share. Enter your screen. Is it visible?
Just a minute. Let me.
Not yet.
Nope. Okay, so Just a minute, everyone, so that she can rejoin. Apologies for that technical hitch. Uh, uh, Maybe can you try resharing right now, Sharon? Let's see. Okay. Yeah, we can now see it. We can now see something. A map. Yeah, we can now see a small set. Sharon, we can see your screen, but we can't hear you.
Yeah, I'm very sorry for that. Let me. No, I'm using Google Chrome. I was using Mozilla. I don't know why it was not working. Yeah, sorry for that. So where was we, or where were we? Okay, we were in Osmose as the first tool for data quality assurance. Yeah, so okay, I'm just going to take you through what I said before we had all that technical hit. Yeah, so Osmose monitors multiple quality control issues in OSM. So it checks for feature geometry issues like overlapping buildings, nodes, incomplete features, and duplications as well. Yeah, so common tagging issues, it also checks for common tagging issues such as missing, unsuitable, or poorly formatted tags. Yeah, so the steps or how you can use Osmose. Here is Osmose. The first thing that you have to do is to log in. So when you click on login, it will take you to OpenStreetMap, where you'll be prompted to grant access. So if you click on login, this is my OSM username, password, login, and it will prompt you to grant access. The application Osmose is requesting your account to grant access. So I just grant access. And now there we are in Osmose, my username, you can see. Now here we have on the left panel, we have the errors. Yeah, let me call them errors. We have so many errors. We have overlapping buildings, we have invalid polygons, reverse roundabouts, and all that. And on the right panel, it shows you, now let me just show you something. Okay, yeah, so when you zoom out, this is entirely the map of the entire world. So it depends with where you want to edit or where you want to correct for errors. So you can always zoom to where you want to correct for errors. If it's Madagascar, if it's Kenya, Nairobi, you just zoom to where you want to correct errors. So for our sake, we'll use Nairobi, Kenya, our place in Kenya, or Nairobi. Yeah. Kenya, I don't know. This is Kericho area in Kericho. It's still loading. Yeah, this is Kericho. So you can always uncheck and check the errors on the left side to see. So you can see how can I call it? Like the symbols for each error. The orange, is it orange or yellow? The orange or yellow one with the plus is an invalid polygons errors. We have the yellow one with an equal sign. Those are reverse roundabout errors, often nodes. We have sudden highway types and all that. Bad link highways, broken highway continuity, multi-polygons, and all that. So yeah, so you can always check on this side. Let's say we want to correct for this error. If you can check this error on this side, it's like not connected. Maybe a highway is not connected. So if you want to correct the error, you just click on the pin-like tool. You click on it. And it will explain what the error is all about. It will tell you that small highway group apart from the main network or with insufficient access upstream. Yeah, so so you can choose in which editor do you want to correct for this error. You can choose JOSAM, you can choose ID for editing. So I'll work with JOSAM. And if I open my JOSAM, if I open my JOSAM, can you see my JOSAM?
No.
Okay.
You're on full screen, yeah.
Let me stop that. Yeah,
Okay.
let me share my JSON. Share your screen, application window. Yeah, so you can see my JSON, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, so the area, this is Kericho, definitely you can see the tea farms. So the error said that the error was, let me go back to the error, what the error was about. Yeah, the error was like small highway group apart from the main network or with insufficient access upstream. So what we can do is correct, if you want to correct for this error, let's just click on edit. You just want to correct for this error, and let's connect it to the main highway here, which I think has been mapped. So, but you are not going to see the data for, you are not going to see other data, you're going just to see the error. So if we click on this one and just connect it to the main highway, I think this is the road. Is this the road? Where is this, the road or a river? Yeah, this is a road. I think there is some trees that you can see the road. So let's just correct the error and just want to connect it to the main highway, because the error was that it's not connected. Just delete. No. So backspace. Maybe add the tag highway unclassified, or maybe highway apart. Click highway path apart and we click OK, and we upload our changes. Is empty. Okay, let's say comment OSM Kenya training. Okay, hashtag OSM Kenya. And upload changes. Changes have been uploaded. So after the changes have been uploaded, you go back to Osmose. After changes have been uploaded. After changes have been uploaded, you go back to Osmose. Where is Osmose? Chrome tab. Yeah, you go back to Osmose, and you click on here. There is the green highlight for like it has been corrected. We have the like help, like if you don't understand, and we have the cross, like maybe you didn't understand the error, and maybe you open the error and you are not able to correct it. So you can click on the cross, and if it's been corrected, like we have, you click on that, and if the data is reloaded, the error will not be highlighted in Osmose. It's loading, just a moment. Let's reload. Yeah, place. The error shouldn't be highlighted. Otherwise, they're not bringing the this one. Yeah, the error shouldn't be highlighted. Where it was somewhere, it's not visible. The error that we corrected, it's deleted now from the highlighted errors in Osmose. Yeah, so basically that's how Osmose works. So if you want to, you can as well instead of clicking on JOSM, the JOSM tool. Here we have two options that you can choose your editor. First, you can click on the error, and instead of using the JOSM link here, you can go to export and click on JOSM, and it will open the error in JOSAM, or if it's ID, we don't have ID. Yeah. If you want, yeah, if it will open the error in JOSAM as a JSON file or CSV. Like if you want to export it and maybe like use the data that you've corrected, you can export as a HTML list, JSON, JSON, KML file, or a GPX file. So basically that's how we correct errors in Osmose. You just click on, let's try another one. We have this one. The red one with a dot is an autograph. It's an autograph. So if you click on it, if you click on the error, it says name with the uppercase. Name with uppercase. So let's open it in JOSAM and see how the error looks like. So it says while uncommon, it is possible for a name to have uppercase words. This is particularly the case for corporate and all that. So like the name, you can see it's Fahi. In JOSAM, it's been, I'm not going, it's Fahi Petroleum. Let me just share that so that you can see what I'm talking about. Stop sharing this one. Chrome tab. No, application window. JOSAM, you can see it's Fahi Petroleum. Like the name has been written in all uppercase letters. But in OpenStreetMap, like maybe they always prefer uppercase or lowercase or sentence case. So you can correct that. You come to, you click on it, select, and you come to the name and you edit. And I think it's Fahi, it should be Fahi Petrol Station. Petrol Station, click on Fahi Petrol Station. Click OK. Upload your data to OSM. Upload changes. Upload successful, and you go back to Osmose. Yep. Yeah, so that's Osmose. Next, we are going to any question? Okay, before I proceed, any question on Osmose? Basically, that's it. It's not so much work. And okay, another thing that I forget about is you can query errors by OSM username, or you can zoom to your extent of search for the location of your choice. So if you want to query by user, we go to, sorry, I have to change tabs. If you want to query by user, query by user. Mozilla share. So you can query by user. Let me share the link here. This one. Query by user. Copy link location, yeah. Yeah, so you can query by user, like it allows you to control your own issues. Like a user, let me query by which, okay, let me try KP, like a user that I know, KP Chala. Let me just try this user, submit, and no, he hasn't had errors. Let me try another user. Let me try this user, submit. So you can see the errors, these errors, and you can go and be clicking each error and correcting for the errors. So there are two ways: either you can query by user, or you can query by area. Like you zoom to the area that you want. You zoom to the area that you want to correct to. If If it's Nairobi, if it's Kericho, if it's Homa Bay, you zoom to the area and you correct for the errors in that particular zoom extent. Yeah, so basically that is osmosis. Any question on osmosis? Hello, any question?
So for osmosis, you do not need to use like a tasking manager. You're just doing for a general area that you're interested in. Or is it possible to also use like a specific mapping project on the tasking manager?
I have a question as well, if you don't mind.
It's okay. Let me answer Laura's. Okay. Yeah, for osmosis, it's not okay. It's not possible to like query for a specific task. So it only gives the option like maybe, okay, if maybe your task was in, where the area where your task covered, you can zoom to that area and correct for the errors in that specific area, if you know the area that your task covered. Or if you know the usernames of the people who are working on that specific task, you can query by username. And it will show you the specific areas for that task at that particular like area. Have I answered you, Laura?
Yes, you have. Thanks.
So basically, my question was on JSON. I realized you used JSON. Is there another option of not using JSON and use ID editor?
Yes, there is an option of using ID editor as well. Let me go back to osmosis. Osmosis map. So you can see if we click on a specific area, like let's click on this one. Let it show here. Okay, this specific area. If you click on it, it gives you the node, the details of the node, and it gives you the option for JSON and ID. So you can either edit in ID or edit in JSON. So if you click on edit in ID, want to see how it opens in ID. You can edit in either JSON or ID. Here it is. It has opened in ID. It's opening in ID. You can see the error in ID. Just a moment, it's loading. It's taking too long to load. Yeah, but yes, it's possible to. It's loaded. It's possible to edit in ID as well. Let me reload. Edit in ID browser. Let me try and open another error. I don't know why that's not opening. But you can try it out, Elijah. It's possible to open an error in ID. I don't know why my ID is not opening. ID editor loading. Yeah, it's open. It's opening Zoom. You can see the error in ID, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so it opens in ID. You correct. Let's see what the error was. Ring self intersection, like invalid polygon. There is a ring self intersection. So why is it starting out though? Oh. Let's open to our error. Here is the, no, was this the error? Oh, this was the first error that opened. What was the error in this? The error, this one was like the all capital letters, the Bridgepoint Hotel. So we can just click on it and change like Bridgepoint Hotel. That's an orthograph error. So after we have changed the name and you click on save, it gets saved in OpenStreetMap. You can reload and yeah, you can add change set comments. Let's just see hashtag OSM Kenya, all that. Then you upload your change set to OSM, and that's it. Have I answered you, Elijah?
Sharon.
Sharon.
Yes.
Okay, my question is maybe after editing an error, let's say like the incompleteness of a path, and you end up making another error within the same one. Like for example, now you write the name of the path in caps. Will the error be completely eliminated, or there will be another pop-up for another new type of error?
Sorry, I didn't get you.
Like saying you are correcting an error, maybe the error highlighted was like a part that is not complete. Now you complete that, but you end up typing the name of that part in uppercase. So will the error be completely eliminated, or there will be another pop-up for another type of error on the same?
Okay, yeah. So Osmose gives you the options to, like, maybe if you have corrected an error, you click on the corrected, like after issue is fixed, you mark it as fixed. But if you've corrected the error and you haven't marked it as fixed, the error is still going to show it in Osmose. Yeah. But if you open the error and it's something that you cannot work on, you just click, if it's something you cannot work on, you ignore. But if it's something that maybe was highlighted as an error and it's not an error, you click on false positive. Like it reports the issue as improper, like it was highlighted as an error and maybe it is not an error. So you click on false positive to report it as like it was not an issue. Yeah. So the most important thing after correcting an error, make sure you click on corrected so that it updates that the error was corrected. So that when somebody opens, will not see the error. It will remove from the list of errors. One last question. Have I answered you? Sorry.
Not really. Like I was saying, one can decide to correct an error, but in the process make another different error on the same point. Like for example, if I was editing a path that is incomplete, I can complete the path, but in the process of typing the name, I type in uppercase. So there is another error. When I click fix, will it show that the error has been corrected, or it will bring a pop-up with another new error?
Oh, okay. If you click on the first thing that you do is to click on the pins for the errors that have been highlighted. So if you click on the specific pin and click on the error as corrected, and maybe like you are adding an attribute or a tag and you made another error, I think it will be highlighted. That error will be highlighted as a different error apart from this one, apart from the error that you are correcting, the first error that you're correcting.
Thank you.
Yeah, one last question.
I think you had a question on chat by Anita.
Okay.
And she was asking, when doing quality checks, does one have to correct their own tasks, like their own mapping errors?
Sorry?
She's asking, when doing quality checks, does one have to correct their own errors? So say, for example, the way you clicked on your username, you queried your username and you saw some errors. Is it a must that one corrects them? Or is it advisable?
Yeah, so different tools, there are different tools as you're going to go through the different tools in quality assurance. There are different tools. Most of them do not allow you to correct for your own errors. But for Osmose, I think you can. I've never tried correcting my own errors. But most of the tools do not allow you to correct for your own errors, because sometimes human beings are biased. You tend to favor yourself. So maybe what you think, or what the tool thinks like it's an error for them, maybe it was not an error for you, and you'll end up as marking everything as false positive, false positive, false positive, positive. So it's not always advisable to correct for your own errors. Have I answered you, Anita?
Yes, you have.
Yeah, but tools like JOSM Validator that you're going to look at allows you to correct for your own errors. Yeah. So we are going to go to the next tool. You're going to go to the next tool, and I'll try to go fast because time is running out. We're going to go to the next tool, and it's OSMCHA. Yeah, so OSMCHA is OpenStreetMap's change set analyzer. So it's a tool that is desired to, let me just share. It's a tool that is designed to review. I hope you're seeing my screen, my presentation slide screen.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's a tool that is designed to review uploads and change set to OSM data. So OSMCHA, it allows you to filter errors by username, location, dates of uploads, and other data features. So it is useful for monitoring the process of data cleaning, and as well uploads item, because how can I put it, real time, like OSMCHA gives you data, not data, yeah, I think errors, or maybe like uploads that have been uploaded from few seconds ago up to like months ago and years ago. So it is useful. It monitors the process of data cleaning and upload teams. Yeah, so I'm going to show you how OSMCHA works. So I have to again change coupon location. OSMCHA. Yeah, so this is OSMCHA. Call it this one. Chrome tab, OSMCHA. Yeah, so this is OSMCHA. This is how it looks like. It's loading, just a moment. It's taking time to load. Yeah, OSMCHA. You can see it, right? You can see the screen.
Yes.
Yeah, so you can see on the left panel, there is my username. As same to Osmosis, in OSMCHA, you also have to log into your OpenStreetMap account and grant OSMCHA access. So you can see my username, and you can see the change sets that have been made 5 minutes ago, 6 minutes ago, and all that. So these are the recent change sets that have been made. Yeah, so maybe let me just take you through the left panel first. So you can see the username. We have Dave Griggs is the username. This is the comment. This is the flag. He's a new mapper. So on the green button, let me call it, yeah, the green button, the 55. So for the green buttons are the what have been added, the data that have been added, or let's say the nodes. So he added 55 nodes. The 10 are those that have been modified, like the orange are for modifications, and 10 are those that have been deleted. So if you want to click on a specific, let's click on the Griggs. You can see it opens with the change set number. This is the change set number, which is unique to every change set that is made to OpenStreetMap. So we have the change set number. So we have the details. It shows you the OSM username, how many edits he made. He made 11 edits. He has created 7 minutes ago. This is the comment. This is the flag, like he's a new mapper. Source, he didn't add the source or the image. He didn't add the source. The editor, he used ID editor. Imagery, he used Bing aerial imagery. And you can see on this side, these are the edits he made. So as I said, the orange ones are the modifications made. The green ones are the green ones are those that have been added. Yeah, so if you want to you want to validate his work, you go to open with, and we have Achavi, we have ID, we have JOSAM, level 0 RAP ID. As I said, I'll be using JOSAM for today. So we want to validate with JOSAM to check for errors and to check for the quality of the data that was added by Dev with JOSAM. Just a moment, it's loading. Okay, as it loads, let me take you through. Here we have flagged features. For him, there are no flagged features. For flagged features, let me show you what flagged features are like. You can get there. Here there are no flagged features. You can get there like maybe bulk imports requested, maybe the disconnected highways and all that. Those are the flagged features in OSM. We have the tag changes. So it didn't change any tags in this change set. But if the tag changes, you'll see all the tag changes here. We have the discussions, like maybe here for discussions, because DevGrix is a new mapper, I can add, hi DevGrix, DevGrix, thank you for mapping. And if the mapping is perfect, I go ahead and tell him the mapping is okay. Continue mapping. Okay, it has opened. Yeah, if the mapping is okay, I tell him to continue mapping. The mapping is okay, and I thank him. But if there are errors, I can say, hi DevGrix, there are buildings that you have mapped as rectangles, as rectangles, but are not rectangles. Or I can say like your buildings are not perfect square, are not like squared. You haven't squared your buildings and all that. As you can see, this building is not squared. So the change set have opened in JOSAM. I opened it in JOSAM. So here is the change set. And one most important thing is always in the change set, always know the imagery that somebody used. He said the imagery he used is being aerial imagery. So we can't be using Maxar when the person used being aerial imagery. So we changed to Bing imagery. I hope you were taken through JOSAM just the other day, and you know how to change the imageries in JOSAM and all that. Yeah, so this is Bing. This is how it looks like. So this one, you can see the data that you mapped. These are circular hearts. Is this really circular? Let me see. This is not really circular. So you can change. Oh, are you seeing my JOSAM? I didn't share the screen. Ooh, just a moment. Chrome tab, no, JOSAM. Yep. Yeah, so this is JOSAM. This is the work that was added by Dev, the modifications and the addition. So like this one, like this is just an error. Like he mapped this building as circular, but the building is not circular in shape. So what we will do, we can modify it. First of all, you are always not. It's not advisable to delete data that have been added by another user in OpenStreetMap. So what is allowed is either you modify, or yeah, it's either you modify. Don't delete any data that have been added to OSM by another user. Let's try and modify this data. Delete, do not show again. We want to try and modify this building. I hope you're all seeing what I'm doing. I'm just trying to modify the nodes so that it shows the correct outline of the building. And you click on Q to have your building as a perfect square. So I have changed that, and you just click on upload. Unconnected nodes without tags. These ones are the ones that you modified. Let me just click continue to upload. I'll tell you about that when you go to JOSAM Validator. It's uploading. creating change set. Yeah, upload successful. So when you go back to the change OSMcha, you can leave a comment. When you go back to OSMcha, you can leave a I can leave a comment to Dev, like maybe tell him, hi Dev, ensure like your buildings, try to no, or let's say use Q to square your buildings. Your buildings sum were not squared. Were not squared, and thank you for mapping. Thank you for mapping. And I post a comment. So it has yeah, post a comment successfully posted. So when Dev will receive a notification in his email that Shazomodza commented on your change set and all that. Yeah, so that's basically how we do it in OSM change set. OSMcha change set analyzer. Yeah. So here you can also see the user. Here, user 121, David Griggs. He joined 20 days ago. He has made 11 edits since then. 0 bad, 0 good changes and all that. So that you can check him through OSMcha, OSM, or HDYC. Like that is how did you contribute, or missing maps. Yeah, so that is OSMcha. Any question on OSMcha? Oh, sorry, I forgot to cover something on OSMcha. Filters is important in OSMcha. So maybe because here you just get the list of people who did editing like few minutes ago. As well, you can use filters. You can use filters like you can filter by date, like edits that were edited today. You can filter by if the flagged edits. You can filter by username. Let me see Shazomoja. You filter by username, you want to see what you apply, and you can see all that I did. This is 17 minutes ago, 25, 30 minutes ago, modifications. This is a month ago when we were working on the Hot OSM project. They were for Kenya Red Cross on the flooding on Takwel Dam. So these are the details. Green, I said it's added. Orange is modifications, 0 is delete. It's not advisable to delete. So always ensure that if you delete, let it be like as minimal as possible. Like let's say you can't recycle that data, so and there's too many of it, so that's when you can be allowed to delete. But OSM allows. We always recommend recycling and reusing of the data. Any question on OSMcha? Any question on OSMcha before we go to the next tool? Are you okay? Hi, Laura.
Hi. Yeah, I think you can continue if there are no questions.
Oh, there are no question on the chat box, right?
No.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so our next tool that you're going to talk about is the JOSAM validator. And I'm not going to talk much about it because you are taken through JOSAM, and I think as you practice through JOSAM, you have encountered this tool. So JOSAM validation is another tool, is another quality assurance tool in OSM. Yeah, so it's an inbuilt validation tool that it checks for common errors and inconsistencies in OSM data relating to geometry and tagging issues. Yeah, so let me open JOSAM and let me try and do something. JOSAM. No, application window, entire screen. JOSM, no, this is JOSM. You can see this, the validation results tab here. You can all see it, right?
Which one? The validation. Oh, yeah,
On
yes.
the right, on the far right, on the bottom right, validation results tool. Yeah, so that one is the inbuilt validation tool, like a validation tool for JOSM that checks for quality of OSM data being uploaded. Let me try to add something, just something random. Let's say a building. This one. Let me just map this one. Yeah, that one. And I try to upload. Let me add another one. And I upload changes. Oh, it has uploaded, but because I ignored the warning in the previous uploads. But most of the times when there are warnings on the validation results, when you click on upload, it will tell you there are warnings, and it will tell you the types of warnings, and it will prompt you to correct for the warnings before uploading. So here on the warnings, you can check there is unconnected nodes. If you click on it and zoom to problem, you can see the unconnected nodes. This is because these are the ones that he modified. I think he just moved the nodes. So when I open with JOSM, this is how they look like. So maybe you can get unconnected highways, unconnected what, and all those. So before you click upload, and if JOSM prompts you to correct for errors, always check on these errors. After you have corrected each error, you click on the validation and it will refresh. So if there are other errors that are still remaining, they will still be showed there. But if it's done, there will be no warnings here, or maybe or errors. So you can just go ahead and continue to click upload, and it will upload with no errors. That's all about the JOSM validation tool. Question? Yeah, but sometimes you can open JOSM and the validation results tool, it's not there. We only have layers, tags, authors, conflict. So if you want to add it, you go to Windows and you click on validation results and it's added. So that's how we add the validation tool, validation results, quality assurance tool in JOSM. Any questions? I'll assume silence means no question, but if you have a question, you can post it in the chats. We'll look at it. Yeah, another tool is KeepRight. KeepRight. Let me share my screen. Another tool is KeepRight. Chrome. Open Chrome. Yeah, another tool is KeepRight. Application window, this one. Another tool is KeepRight. So KeepRight mainly deals with attribute completeness. Yeah, so it shows a large number of automatically detected potential errors on a map or in a list form. So it has a system for reporting false positives and for labeling bugs as fixed. Like in Osmose, as we looked in Osmose, maybe someone can ignore an error or just correct or highlight it as false positive. So KeepRight will have a system that will show you the errors that have been marked as false positive or those that have been labeled as fixed, but maybe it was not fixed. Yeah, so it has rules to automatically detect the following errors. So we have non-closed areas, dead ends, we have deprecated tags or missing tags, bridge, tunnels without layer, and untagged railway crossing, and all that. And so there's so many errors that KeepRight looks at. So we are going to go to KeepRight. Let me open it in Chrome. So I'm going to take it to KeepRight Chrome. Yeah, this is Keep Right. So this is Keep Right. This is how it looks like. Yeah, so when you open the Keep Right site, you can see it. It shows like errors for different areas. If you want to check for errors for Europe, Australia, Africa, Canada, USA, they have different links. So let's say we want to check our errors for Africa. You click on Africa. I hope my Keep Right window is visible. You can all see it.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, so you click on, we want to check data for Africa. You click on Keep Right under Africa on the Africa link. A little patient is loading. It's loading. Yeah. So here we have Keep Right. This is how it looks like. So for Africa, it's from Egypt, Cairo, downwards to South Africa, Madagascar. So this is Egypt. Let's just zoom out. We want to check for errors in Kenya. Just zoom. Let's use this to zoom. Moment. Yeah, it is. So Kenya, we zoom to the layer that we want, the area that we want to check for errors for. Let's say it's Nairobi. Nairobi. Yeah, so those are the errors for Nairobi. The errors are here. Yeah, so on the farthest left, we have the types of errors. For example, we have non-closed errors. We have almost junction, missing tags, loopings, misspelled tags, and all that. So those are all the types of errors, and you can see with if it's green, like a wavy green, that is an unclosed error. If it's red, that is an intersection without junction. Yeah, so on the farthest left, that's all that is like it allows you to select or deselect for errors. And then on this side of no, I don't select an error. Cancel. So just a moment, yeah. So on this side is where we have the type of error, that is that has been caused under. Each error has a color of flash. As I said, if it's red, you can just check on this other side. What does the color of flash like red means? If it's yellow, you can check on this side. Yellow, there's a roundabout error and all that. Yeah. So another one back on the left on the left, there is there's some types of errors that are further like differentiated. You can see on the plus button, the errors that have plus buttons. These are errors that have been differentiated. So if you expand on it, we have highway errors, highway waterway, highway riverbank, waterway errors, and all that. If you click on another one, you can see there is highway. So there are errors that they've further been differentiated because they cannot all be under one error. Yeah. So another thing to note is also like on the warnings, we have warnings on this side. So it Keep Right also enables you to like select or deselect warnings. If you want to select the warnings for multiple nodes on the same spot, you can select for the warnings, deprecated tags, and all that. Or if you want all the warnings, you can see there are warnings and there are errors. You can see the warnings have been added. Yeah, so you can check on that or deselect on the warnings. Another important thing about Keep Right is that here there's where you can choose to show ignored errors, the errors that maybe somebody ignored. So it's just a matter of deselecting and selecting. Like the errors that were ignored, or show temporary ignored errors. So we have ignored errors, those that maybe were reported as false positive, and we also have temporary ignored errors. Yeah, and then we also have you can see like down here where it's written, you will see up to 100 errors markers starting in the center of the map. Please allow a few seconds for the error markers to appear after panning site. After panning, so the site was last updated in 2020. Fourth was April. April 19th of April. That was when the site was last updated. So that's basically KeepRight. So how do you go about correcting an error in KeepRight? You can click on a specific area. Let's say, let's zoom out to, let's see this error here, Kugeria, in Kugeria. So if you click on it, so there is a misspelled tag. The error there is a misspelled tag. So then it shows the misspelled tag is the type of error, and this one it shows the number of node as the number of node is displayed, and this is the number of node in the OSM database. And then here we have this one, the one highlighted in red, it shows further, and it explains further the type of error. We were told that it's a misspelled tag. So it tells you that this way is tagged address is equals to Kiambu Road, where address looks like address, like that's how they write it. Yeah. So if you want to edit for the error, we are going to use JOSM. But there is an option for using Potlatch. There is an option for using ID. There's an option for using level 0. I've never used level 0. I don't know what it is, but we're going to use JOSM. So here, yeah, this one is the error. So imagery, let's open Maxar imagery. So it says misspelled tag. Yeah, so let's see under tags, Kiambu, Kugeria Road, address, let me see, edit, let's see, address. Is this not the correct spelling for address? I think this is the correct spelling, right? Address, Kiambu Road. I think this is the correct spelling. Okay, here is the correct spelling. So we can come back to KeepRight, and we can, because I think that's the correct spelling, because they say this way is tagged address is equals to Kiambu Road, where address looks like address. I don't know. I don't understand, because I think the address there is the correct spelling of address. So what you can do is you can here what you do is ignore, like it's a false positive. It is marked as an error, but it's not an error. So you can click ignore false positive, or you can decide to keep this error open because you don't understand. So you just decide to keep the error open, or if you ignore temporarily, it means that you corrected the error. So ignore temporarily, ignore false positive. That is like, it is an error, but okay, it was marked as an error, but when you opened it, it's not really an error. But if you corrected the error, like maybe the spelling was really, really incorrect, then you can click on ignore temporarily and save. And as well here, as OSMCHA, you can also leave a comment to the person who entered the tag, or who added the nodes for that area. So you can enter a comment and save, and the error will be, if it was if you highlighted as error corrected, it will be removed from KeepRight. Yeah.
Sharon,
So okay.
my understanding is that the spelling of address has been misspelled. This last one, address looks like is what has been written there.
Oh, let me see. I didn't see that. Where?
open the error in the editor and check the spellings of address the way they have written.
Here, you can see my JOSM, right?
No.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I didn't share my JOSM. Oh, sorry for that. Let me share my JOSM. Application window JOSM open. This is how the address has been written. Is that not the spelling for address?
It is. Just ignore it.
Yeah, so for that you just ignore as like it's a false positive. It's marked as an error, but it's not an error. So you just ignore false positive and you continue. Just click on OK. You have nothing to upload because you haven't made any changes. This link and maybe send it to the person. You can click on the link and send it to the person who made the error so that if you have any questions, he can answer. And this way, when he opens the links, he opens it directly in KeepWrite. Yeah. But if you leave a message here as well, the person will be notified through the OSM user account and his OSM user account under messages. And you can see who did the last edit. It was done by Dingo KG. That is his name. Yeah. So any question on KeepWrite? Question? Okay, let's go to our next, I think our final tool. I think you've done the KeepWrite interface. Don't worry. Oh, OSM Inspector. We haven't done OSM Inspector. Okay, yeah. So our next tool is OSM Inspector, commonly known as OSMI. It's a web-based debugging tool for advanced OpenStreetMap users. It has been offered by GeoFabric. So on OSM Inspector, this is the link. Let's click on the link, copy link location. Now I have to move between tabs because I don't know how to use Jitsi well. Where's Chrome? Yeah. So this is Chrome. No, that's not Chrome. That's Mozilla. Yeah. So this is OSM Inspector. OSM Inspector. So you can see for OSM Inspector, it's like just the same as there's some of the same interface as KeepWrite, the same interface as Osmose. Now this is OpenStreetMap. The whole world is represented here. So you zoom to the area that you want to correct for errors or you want to check for errors. Let's go to Mombasa. We are tired of Nairobi. Okay, let's go to Mombasa. So you can see in Mombasa, so on the left-hand side, these are the errors. You can see the wavy blue line is long ways. There is green wavy lines, ways, long segments, ways, intersection, self-intersecting ways, nodes. I hope you are seeing my OSM Inspector tab.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So the same. If you want to check more about like the error, you just click on it and it will show you like long ways. If you hover your mouse button on it, it will show you like long ways, like ways with more than 1,900 nodes. Like the node is more than 1,900, and the API allows a way to have up to 2,000 nodes, but shorter ways are easier to edit. So that's the error. Let's see this one. It says ways with long segments. It contains segments longer than 20 kilometers and all that. So if you want to check for an error, let's click on this at the coastline. So we click on that error, long ways. ID last change was done in February. Length is 1. tagged, it has been tagged as natural coastline. So if you want to correct for the errors, here are the tools. We have ID. You can open in ID, you can open in Potlatch, you can open in JOSM. You're going to open in JOSM. It was opened in JOSM. So let me share my JOSM screen. JOSM. So it has opened in JOSM, and this is our error. The one that has been highlighted in red is our error that we want to correct. So you can see what has been highlighted. Okay, let me see. What was the error about? The error was about long ways. What does it say about long ways? Ways more than 1,900 nodes, but shorter ways are easier to edit. Yeah. So you can. So what you can do in JOSM is you can like reduce the number of these nodes because there are too many. You can see most of them are so close to each other. I think this is a coastline. This is the coastline. So maybe you can reduce the number of nodes here for the way. Let's just try and do something here. No, select this one. Let's move it down. Let's see where nodes are concentrated and see if we can delete some nodes. Where there are no like sharp corners, you don't have to have like so many nodes concentrated. Where it's just like straight line, like here, you can just do a one edit like from here to the other, to this side, and you just click. If you are done with correcting for the errors, you click on save. You upload changes. It's uploading. That's too much. So you can see, okay, we talked about the validation tool. You can see here there are no errors in the validation results. So you don't have to worry about that. So after it's saved, you go back to OSM Inspector. Application window, OSM Inspector. You go back to OSM Inspector and long way. My features done. Yeah, for OSM Inspector, as you save, it is immediately saved in OpenStreetMap. So like as opposed to the other ones that you have to say this is corrected, this has not been corrected, this is false positive. For OSM Inspector, every update, every correction is directly uploaded to OpenStreetMap. Yeah, so basically that is OSM Inspector. You can feel free to experiment on the other errors and try to correct for those errors. Yeah, so basically that's it. Any question on OSM Inspector? Question on OSM Inspector? No question? Okay, our last tool is Map Campaigner. Our last tool is Map Campaigner. Yeah. So as like KeepRight, Map Campaigner also checks for attribute completeness, just as KeepRight. Yeah. So we have Map Campaigner. Map Campaigner. Now this is the link to Map Campaigner. Copy link location here. Map Campaigner. Application from sub Map Campaigner. Now this is Map Campaigner. It's a tool by HOT. Yeah, so Map Campaigner basically allows you to monitor the progress and data quality of mapping projects. Yeah. yeah, you need to have like a mapping project, like let's say as OSM Kenya, or like as part of this data quality training, we can create a project that we are working on, and then with Map Campaigner, we can be able to monitor the progress of the project. How many buildings have been added? How many roads have been added? How many waterways? The data quality as well, and we can also check for like who is contributing most and all that. So the first thing that you have to do is log in. So if you click on login, it prompts you, it takes you to OpenStreetMap, and you have to grant Map Campaigner access. And now this is it. My project, I haven't created any projects on Map Campaigner, so we're not going to look at any projects for Map Campaigner. Yeah, but now that is how it works. So as I said, it monitors attribute completeness, like how many objects have been mapped, and the like attribute completeness. So like if you have a project manager can create a task and arrange mapping activities like a mapathon. You can say that you want to map all buildings in Nairobi, specific features and their attributes. Or let's say our project is going to focus on mapping health facilities in Nairobi. We can create that project, and now we can be monitoring the progress of our project. Yeah, so it keeps OSM users engaged. Like it tracks how many OpenStreetMap users are helping to participate. Like is Anita is part of this training program, but is he really mapping? So you can see the contribution ranking here. How many tasks has she mapped? Who is mapping the lowest and all that? Yeah. So it tracks how many OpenStreetMap users are helping to participate in the mapping project, and the contributions per user as well. So the quality of data you can see here. It checks for if buildings are they complete, incomplete, and all that. So that's how Map Campaigner works. I'm not going to show an example because I don't have a project on my account to show. Yeah, but if we create a project that we will be working on, I think we will be able to monitor the progress of our project and how you are contributing to the project, and we will always be sharing with you in the group. Yeah, so basically that is Map Campaigner, and that is our last tool under quality assurance tools for OpenStreetMap. Any question?
So I have a general question on all the tools.
Mm-hmm.
Are there like situations where you would use one tool over the other? It really depends with like what you're working on, the project that you're working on, and what you're doing.
Yeah, there are situations that are going to prompt you to use like one tool over the other, because each and every tool has different errors they check for. They don't check for the same errors. And even the attributes that they check on. Like we saw, why would I use OSM chart to check for? Okay, for me, I always prefer using OSM chart to check on like the updates on. Okay, if we are working on a specific project, you can check like this person, because OSM chart allows you to check on like the up-to-date data of like the change set. With the change set, you can check on like the errors that was been made by a person, what he added, what he deleted, and all the modifications he made. And with the keep right osmosis, cannot allow you to like check for modifications, check for additions, or check for deletions that have been made in OSM. Yeah, so I think there are situations, maybe there are tools that they can work. You can use them for the same purpose, but there are tools that maybe when you want to correct for specific errors, you are going to prefer using a different tool as opposed to the other. Like for example, if we want to monitor the progress of our project, definitely the tool that you're going to use is Map Campaigner. It will be so difficult to check for, okay, to monitor the progress of our project in OSM-CHA, because OSM-CHA you can only filter by the change set ID and the usernames. Yeah, so yes, there are situations that will require you to use one tool and not the other tool.
Okay, so.
Any question?
Maybe even as you're winding up, maybe if you can share with everyone, I guess this is the other way that someone can contribute to SM. So, in as much as one can be a mapper, I guess one can also help out with data quality and validation and such things. So maybe I don't know if you'd want to share with the rest, like how you're doing it currently, for like which projects and how it's going.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Thank you, Laura, for pointing out that. Yeah. So
just in addition, as you respond to that, I think on the chat box states asked, does validation also count as contributions?
Okay, let me first answer that. Yes, validations also count as contributions, because if you're modifying something, maybe you are adding a node, or maybe you are like a road was not intersecting at the junction, you're adding nodes, so it counts as contributions. Like I saw you, there was in OSM-CHA, like for example, in OSM-CHA, every edit you make, even if it's like one node that you entered, it's going to be updated as a different chain set, in OSM-CHA, and you can check it. Okay, it's going to be saved in the OSM database with a different node, a different chain set, and you can. It also counts as like a contribution. Yeah. So whether you're validating, whether you're adding data, you're contributing to OSM. You're contributing to OpenStreetMap. Advocacy is also contributing to OpenStreetMap. Advocating for OSM over Google Map, it's also contribution to OpenStreetMap. Oh, Laura, what was your question? I'm sorry. Oh, how we are doing validations? Yeah. So for validations, mostly we have different levels of individuals, OSM users and contributors. We have new mappers, we have intermediate mappers, we have advanced level mappers. So mostly validation, okay, there are different types of projects that require different people for validation. There are different projects that will be open for anyone to validate. There are different projects that will require validators, okay, like non-validators to do the validation. Yeah. So it will depend, and there are different projects that will require only advanced mappers to do validation. Yeah, so like not everyone can do validation. It depends on the project, on a specific task. If you open a specific task on the instructions on validation, you will always see the requirements, like if it's open to like everyone can do the validation, or if it's for advanced mappers only and all that. Yeah. Any question?
Okay.
Oh, and the project, sorry, I forgot on the project. Okay, as I'm going to speak as Sharon, okay, what I'm currently doing, there is a project by Crowd2Map Tanzania where we are mapping rural Tanzania. A lot of projects have been done. A lot of projects in OSM have been done by an organization called Crowd2Map Tanzania, like FGM, mapping to end like early marriages in rural Tanzania. So new mappers are always called upon to help in mapping the areas, and So there are people who do the validations, like maybe you check for, like somebody says, I did this mapping, I'm a beginner, please check if I'm on the right track, and we check on their work. We can validate as well. We check on their work, give comments and all that, and that's how you improve as a person if you're a beginner. Yeah, through the validation, through comments from other fellow OSM users. And there are a lot of projects. Maybe Laura can also share other projects she's working on.
And personally, I don't do much validation. Yeah, but I'm aware that you usually do a lot of validation. So yeah, I thought maybe just people might be wondering how that works. Yeah.
Yeah. And another thing, I don't know if you are taken through Tasking Manager, but there is one important thing. In the Tasking Manager, there is always like an area that is available for mapping, an area that needs more mapping, an area that has been mapped completely, and now there is an area that needs validation. If an area has been validated, now that's when a task is marked as finished. So it undergoes a process. You start by adding data. After adding data, there is validation. Maybe if you are not able to finish your work, there is somebody else who will come and finish the task for you, and then there is somebody else who will validate that area that you did. You cannot validate your data, especially in hot Tasking Manager. So somebody else validate the data, and after the area is validated, that's when the task is marked as finished. There is marked as complete and there is marked as finished. Yeah, so there is those steps of data. You add data contributing to projects and Tasking Manager and all that. Any questions?
Okay. If there are no other questions, yeah, because I can on chat I can see them. Another questions, yeah, but yeah, basically that was the session on data quality, validation, and accuracy. So at least you know that in as much as a lot of data is being contributed to OSM every day, and it's a lot of data that's coming in, it's being contributed by anyone. That there are also checks that go through it, checks that are being done to make sure like all the data that's coming in is of it's of good quality, and if it's not, then it's corrected. That someone at the end, for any user, for any platform that uses OpenStreetMap, that the data that they're using is true to what is on the ground and such things. Yeah, so I guess you've learned, or I've seen a number of tools that are used to ensure there is data quality. I know it might have seemed like a lot, but you don't have to learn all of them at once. You can just start learning one or two and seeing how it works. And also just another important thing to note is that, you see, a lot of people usually assume that contribution to OSM just means mapping, like the tracing of buildings and roads, which is not the case. At least from today, you can also see that you can continue mapping, and then once you become
Hi, Laura. Yeah, okay. As we wait for Laura, yeah. So because you were introduced to ID Editor, you were introduced to JOSAM. So maybe if you have started working on maybe task or even adding data to OSM, and you require like another eye to check your work, you can like inbox me on WhatsApp. That's my OSM username on the group, on our OSM training group at Sharon KE. You can inbox me the link or the change set ID so that I can check your work, and I can always give you I can always give feedback, and maybe on I can always tell you on areas to improve on. Yeah. So basically that's it for me. The PDF will be shared. Okay, Laura is back.
Yeah, I actually did not nilikuwa nimepotea. Yeah, but I was just saying that at least from the things that we've been taught today by Sharon, we can see the other ways that you can contribute to OSM, other than the tracing of buildings and roads. You can also just participate as a validator or contribute as a validator to verify features, and you can see at least for most of the validation tools, they do not require a mapping project. So maybe if it's your school or it's your home and you are like more aware of the surrounding, I think it's also a good way to contribute in that way. So, in like you can look at a location that you're familiar with. Yeah. So yeah, I think Sharon was saying, yeah, we'll share the PDF or the slides that have more all the links that we are sharing on chat and more information on what each tool does and such things. Yeah, basically more information on the tools, and then the recording will come, but no promises that it will come. It will come soon, just because the issue with Jitsi that it's that it what does it do? It divides the videos into sets. So we have to edit and merge them, and then download them, of which they're very huge. Edit them, then merge them, then upload them back again. So that's why it's taking a while to share the videos, but zitakuja. Yeah. Yeah, so I think that's it for today. As always, the plan is usually for weekdays to meet for 2 hours between 7 and 9, and I think we are on time. So yeah, again, if you have any questions, if you need any clarification, feel free to ask on the group or even to reach out individually to maybe a trainer who would lead a session. They should be able to answer or help out in any way. I think that's just it. Or just one last reminder, please, if you have not signed the trainee agreement, please do so. The link should be on your email. It was shared last week. Yeah, so for this week, we just have one last session on Saturday, which will be a map-a-thon. So there'll be no training per se, but we'll just be meeting to map the South Sea project. Yeah, but if at that point, if you have any clarification when it comes to mapping or anything that we've covered so far, it would be a good place to ask. Yeah, to ask and get clarification from anyone who'll be on the call. Yeah, and then the last, as I shared on Monday, the last week will be for 2020 will be next week. Yeah, and that will be it. So yeah, please, if you haven't signed the agreement, please sign. It's very important. I think that's just it. So kwa hayo nitasema kwaheri and good night. And thank you so much, Sharon, for the session. It was really insightful.
Thank you so much to all who made it to attend to this session. Yeah, so if you have any questions, just feel free to inbox me in our WhatsApp training group. My username is @SharonKE for my WhatsApp username. Just feel free to inbox me. If you want me to look at your edits, you can just feel free to send me the link or the change set ID. And together, let's help lead a better quality. Let's lead better quality of OSM data. Yeah, that's all from me. Thank you so much.